Preston, look!
Preston and Sawyer lived by the sea. It was a bright, sunny day. Preston was building a magnificent sandcastle while his younger brother Sawyer was looking for seashells. Suddenly, Sawyer shouted, drawing Preston's attention to a huge pirate ship sailing towards the shore. It had bright red sails and a flag with a skull and crossbones. The boys were so excited. They ran to tell their dog, Reecie. Reecie, who had been asleep under the warm sun, woke up with a start. Her tail wagged excitedly. She loved adventures. The three of them watched as the ship dropped anchor. A small rowing boat came towards the shore, full of the strangest pirates the boys had ever seen. One pirate had a bright pink beard, another had a parrot on his shoulder, and the pirate at the oars had only one leg and a mischievous glint in his eye. The boys were speechless. This was better than any adventure they had ever imagined. Reecie barked excitedly, eager to meet the unusual crew. The pirate with the pink beard smiled at the boys.
Ahoy there, mateys. I'm Captain Coral. This here's my first mate, Pete.
Pete, the pirate with the parrot, grumbled a hello. The parrot squawked, "Ahoy, Polly wants a cracker." Preston and Sawyer giggled. S4, hello.
And this grumpy Gus with only one leg is One-Eyed Oscar.
One-Eyed Oscar winked at the boys.
Don't mind the grumpy Gus bit. It's just that I lost my other eye looking for treasure.
Just then, a furry head popped out from behind a barrel. It was an aardvark.
And this here is Alvin. He's our cabin boy.
Alvin scurried forward, tripped over the barrel, and landed in a heap. Everyone laughed. Alvin, despite being a bit clumsy, had the biggest heart. He quickly became friends with Reecie, who found his clumsiness very amusing. Preston and Sawyer spent the rest of the day exploring the pirate ship, learning all about the different parts of the ship, helping One-Eyed Oscar scrub the deck, and even learning some pirate slang from Pete's parrot. Life on the high seas was never dull with Captain Coral and his crew, but things got even more interesting at night. Alvin the aardvark, you see, was nocturnal. This meant he was wide awake when everyone else was asleep, and Alvin, although very well-meaning, was incredibly clumsy.
I think I'll help Captain Coral tonight.
One night, Alvin decided to help Captain Coral by trying to steer the ship. Of course, Alvin had absolutely no idea how to steer a ship. He grabbed the ship's wheel and started spinning it. The ship began rocking wildly from side to side.
What in the seven seas is going on here?
The sudden movement woke everyone up. Captain Coral came stumbling out of his cabin.
Land ahoy! Land ahoy!
Pete's parrot flew into a panic, squawking, "Land ahoy! Land ahoy!" even though they were nowhere near land. One-Eyed Oscar, ever the practical one, quickly took control of the ship. He calmed everyone down and steered them back on course. Alvin, feeling very embarrassed, slunk back to his barrel, vowing to never touch the ship's wheel again. The next day, Captain Coral announced they were searching for buried treasure. He had an old map, but it was torn in half.
Now who can tell me what we need to do?
Teamwork, teamwork.
That's right, me hearties. We need to work together if we want to find this treasure.
So they all put their heads together. Pete, with his sharp eyes, noticed a pattern on the torn edges of the map. One-Eyed Oscar, who was surprisingly good with puzzles, figured out how to fit the pieces back together. Even Reecie helped by sniffing out the right direction on the map. She pointed her nose towards a small, uncharted island marked with a big X. S5.
To the island, shouted Captain Coral.
The island was covered in lush green trees and colorful flowers. Following the map, they finally arrived at a giant ancient tree.
X marks the spot.
They all started digging. Alvin, eager to help, dug with his paws. One-Eyed Oscar used his shovel. Even Reecie got in on the action, digging with her paws. And then, they hit something hard. They unearthed a large wooden chest. It was filled with gold coins, sparkling jewels, and precious artifacts. S2.
We did it, cheered Preston. They had found the treasure. But more importantly, they had learned that working together and helping each other was the real treasure.
As they sailed back home, the sun setting behind them, Preston and Sawyer knew they would never forget their adventure with the pirates and Alvin. They had found new friends and learned valuable lessons about teamwork and friendship. And Reecie? She was already dreaming of their next big adventure.